to thank the major sponsors of our conference. They are the Bank of America Foundation, NeighborWorks America, the United States Department of Agriculture, the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, the Home Depot Foundation, the Council of Federal Home Loan Banks, J.P. Morgan Chase, and the Navajo Housing Authority. I want to thank the co-sponsors and our Conference Advisory Committee, many of whom contributed to our scholarship fund. You may know that every time we have a conference, we set up a scholarship fund. And with this fund, we were able to bring a little over 200 people, help them come to this conference. So we appreciate their support. Now this morning, we'll have a welcome from one of our major sponsors, J.P. Morgan Chase. Representing the corporation is Janis Bowdler, who is the Senior Program Director of Global Philanthropy for J.P. Morgan Chase. Let me quickly introduce Janis. Janis joined J.P. Morgan Chase in 2013. As Senior Program Officer, she is responsible for setting and driving the firm's philanthropic and corporate responsibility strategy. Prior to joining J.P. Morgan Chase, she served as the Director of Economic Policy at the National Council of La Raza, where she led research, advocacy, and policy analysis issues on financial capability and asset building. Janis also served as project manager at Famicos Foundation, a community development corporation working in Cleveland. She received her Bachelor of Arts degree from Malone College and a Master of Science degree from Cleveland State University. So if you help me welcome Janis.
Thank you, Moises. Is anybody else still getting a little embarrassed when you hear your bio read out loud like that? It's always a little awkward. Well, my job this morning, I think, is really just to welcome you and help you all kick off a fabulous conference. I really want to thank Moises and Joe and the Housing Assistance Council team for having me here, really, like I said, to help you all get started. And on behalf of all my colleagues at J.P. Morgan Chase, I just want to thank you for what you do in rural communities across the country every day. We know that so much of your work really is unsung. You are, I've been out to a lot of your shops, especially during my time at NCLR, and seen the work that you put in on the ground, and just want to thank you for that work. I want to take just a moment to mention a couple things in particular where I see some connections between what you all are doing and what the J.P. Morgan Chase Foundation has been spending its time on recently. Over the past 3 years in particular, J.P. Morgan Chase has been very focused on helping veteran and military families transition back into civilian life. And I'm probably going to tell you some things that you already know, like the fact that a lot of military service members actually come from rural communities. And when they transition out, they go back to those communities. That transition can be really difficult. Oftentimes, there's not the same level of services, or people have to drive or commute very far to get to services. In fact, there are approximately 22 million veterans living today, and about 24% living in rural areas, according to the VHA Office of Rural Health. That means that about 1 in 4 veterans live outside urban areas, and like I said, often without that support. We're really excited to be working with HAC and hopefully with many of you to do some research to understand best practice for serving our veteran military families, and near and dear to my heart, spouses that are living in rural communities. I know that you actually are going to be talking about that more. I think Todd is going to, my colleague Todd Bowers, who works in that area for us, will be here tomorrow, and I look forward to hearing what you guys see as sort of the latest and greatest in that field. Another area where we spent a lot of time is working with CDFIs and thinking about how capital comes into communities. Earlier this year, we announced a $33 million initiative with 7 CDFI collaboratives, essentially challenging CDFIs to come together to think about how collaboration can help them achieve more than they can on their own. One of our partners there is ROC USA, and I don't know if there's anybody from ROC USA that's here today, but many of you might know them as resident-owned communities, helping individuals and families who live in mobile and manufactured housing complexes to actually purchase the land and put them into an ownership position. We see this as a really important model, and we're really proud to be working with ROC USA to make sure that the capital is available for families to make that purchase. Just another way we think that we can help kind of spur wealth creation in rural communities. These are just 2 ways that we're connecting with some of the work that you all are doing. I imagine that there are many more synergies, and I look forward to hearing what you guys do during the conference, kind of tease those out and seeing how else we might work together. Thank you.